Now it's that time of year that we have our friend Jeff Kemp stop by and tell us all about his Adventures in Investing classes. So I'd like to welcome Jeff Kemp, the professor of the classes, here today. Thanks for joining us, Jeff.
Well, professor.
Professor, yes,
Oh,
very
that's-
official.
Wow.
So thanks for stopping by, Jeff, today. It's always a pleasure having you around this time of year to tell us about some great opportunities for investment classes.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you let me come on because how getting the word out on the classes is it's like I have no budget, so
Yes.
it's not my business.
And that's what we're here for.
The fact that there's free access to the community is really awesome.
Great. Well, it's great to have you in. Give us a little bit of history on the Adventures in Investing. What inspired you to get started with these classes here in the area?
Wow. I mean, that's how much time do we have? It's like, if it really goes back to the 1990s, we had this tremendous economy, and the stock market was just absolutely going crazy. And I had already stopped working. I mean, the last day I had to work was like 1991, and of course my investments were doing fine. But I looked at the crazy things people were doing. The amount of debt they were piling up on credit cards and buying huge houses with mortgages they couldn't afford, and the market was doing great, so they thought they were wealthy. And I just thought, wow, this is going to be a disaster. And I started volunteering in the schools with kids, and I asked the teacher one day if they'd be interested in me teaching the kids about investing and saving. And I started there, and they were really fascinated by it. And what happened is a parent called me and said, well, could we come in and sit in on the classes? These were fourth graders.
Oh my gosh.
Because they said, if you can teach a fourth grader about investing, maybe I could understand it. And that kind of put a light bulb off in my head. And then I contacted Al Wenning from the rec department, and he allowed me to use the facilities at Kyle Traeger. And a person from the Northwestern heard about me doing these and did a little article on it. And all of a sudden, like Kyle Traeger, there wasn't enough room. There were more than 300 people show up.
Wow.
So the need was there. Because the information I give to people doesn't come from any biased perspective that I'm going to try to sell anything, or I'm going to have a sit down with you and tell you how I can help you if you just sign up. And that's why the classes I do are free.
Okay.
I have no registration. I am just an individual in the community that one of the things that we all are blessed with different talents. And for some reason, I'm fascinated by the whole financial industry and investing, and I've taught myself how to do it very well, and people can relate to me because I'm just an individual. I'm not a business person selling the product.
Right, and I think that's a big appeal to the classes.
It is.
People,
it's like
they want to talk to their neighbor or their friend about things that are, going to help them in the long run.
Right, a person can come there and understand that, okay, they can listen to what I have to say and weigh whether it's worthwhile to them or not. And there's no strings attached. But ultimately, it always comes back to, I'm just an individual in the community. This isn't my business.
Right. Let me share my knowledge with
It's no conflict of interest here.
Right.
So
when are the classes?
Yeah, they start in January.
Okay.
January 6th. It's a Wednesday night. And they go every Wednesday night for 8 weeks. They start at 6 o'clock, and they're at Oshkosh North Auditorium.
Wonderful. So a lot of opportunities. Do you have to go to every single class, or can you pop in if you can't make one or another?
Actually, you don't have to go every class. Not that one class is better than the other. There is a continuity to the classes, but if you miss one, it's not like if you came back the next week and you'd be like, whoa.
Don't let it steer you away.
Right.
Okay.
Everyone is in. And what happens too, why I'm mentioning it, is I will also be doing the same class in Fond du Lac at Marine Park on a Thursday night. So some people have a conflict on a Wednesday night, so you can drive down to the class in Fond du Lac and go to Marine Park It's in room 103 and 104. They're a combined big room down there, and that's at 6 o'clock. It starts there.
So lots of opportunity to get out there. One of the biggest questions that I think that people might have is if they already have a financial planner, they don't think that they need this kind of stuff if they're happy with that. Tell them why it's still important to be aware and be knowledgeable about what's going on.
Stop and think about this. This is your future. This is your money. And when you stop working, this is what you're going to have to live on. Don't you want to have enough understanding of what you're doing with that money that you know that that person is really doing a good job for you? Some people I think they have a great financial planner because it sends them a birthday card and a Christmas card. By the way, who's paying for that? You are as the investor. There's really good financial planners in town here. There are some really, really good ones. Problem is, they lose customers because the person who's investing through them hears about some crazy investment that their friend made a whole bunch of money on, goes to that financial planner, who's a good financial planner, and says, I want to have that. And he tries to talk them out of it because he understands that it's a fly-by-night thing, or it's just too risky for them. Well, then I'll go someplace else. So many financial planners have told me they really appreciate me doing this class because they want informed people to come to them. They don't want, and when they have a sit down with you and they're giving you information, you want to have an interchange, not dictation.
Right, an understanding of what they're talking about.
And a lot of people, they'll go to a financial planner and, wow, we returned 10% this year, and they thought they did they had a great performance when actually, if they would have owned the market themselves, they would have had 15%.
Okay.
So in the class, you learn about how to evaluate your performance. You learn about asset allocation, the mixture, the risks, and how you can adjust the amount of volatility you have by the mixture. All the really fundamental things that you need to know, whether you have a financial planner or not, is in the classes.
Yes, and we got about a minute left. We want to say it's open for anyone. You don't have to be an experienced investor. You don't have to be just starting out. It covers estate planning and things like that, right?
Yeah, actually, John Birmingham comes in the last week and does. And see, what's really cool about this is he comes in and gives you the fundamentals of estate planning. Problem with most people are they don't want to go in and talk to an attorney about estate planning because it's going to cost them money. Here you have an attorney that's going to come in, give you really good information on it, no strings attached, and then you can make decisions from there what you need to have done. So he's a really valuable asset. It's
a win-win, really.
It is.
And like I said, if you're just getting started in your investments, it's a great opportunity to kick that off. So where can we find more information before we wrap up here?
I actually have a Facebook page for the classes. It's called Adventures in Investing. And even if you're not on Facebook, you can just type in Adventures in Investing Facebook, and it'll come up, and you can access it. So I use that as a really connecting tool for not only when I'm doing classes, but making comments on when things are going on in the market. And if I see something that's really valuable, I share stories on there. To me, it's amazing because.
And you've got your class schedule on there and everything. So we look forward to coming to the classes. Wednesday nights you're in Oshkosh, Thursday nights at Moraine Park. So got to cut the segment off here now, Jeff, but it's always so great to have you, and we are looking forward to coming out to those classes this year.
Hopefully I can keep doing this.
Yes, we look forward to it.
Oshkosh Today was supported in part by the Friends of OCM. And Aurora Healthcare, 855 Northwest Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard. Oshkosh Today.